It's that time again. What's up, everybody? This is Dads Lads Kebabs. Hope you enjoy the show. Deuces.
Boom! Yes, people, and welcome along to another episode of Dads, Lads and Kebabs podcast. Yes, you may be wondering, where is Niall? Niall is not here. Nope. Niall is very busy with work and family engagements. So this week you have just me. It's just Miki. I do apologise. But yeah, this is a day late, unfortunately. But it's important that we get it out. There's lots of things to talk about and discuss. So obviously I've got to keep the podcast going. So yes, how have you been, guys? Let me know in the comments. Let me know on the YouTube video. Obviously, a lot of you, or mainly most of you, listen to the show on the audio platforms. And me and Niall really thank you for that. This year's statistics have just come out and they are very good. Thank you again for your help. We've had nearly 5,000 downloads this year. So that is all down to you guys, the commitment. All of the support all over the world. Singapore, Australia, New Zealand, America, the UK, Sweden, Germany, all over Europe. The list goes on. Some in South America, Argentina, Brazil. So, you know, what can I say? The support is amazing. When we started this podcast, we never thought that just two mates talking shit would go this far. And yeah, thank you so much. If you are listening on the audio platforms, if you could give us a 5-star rating or a 4-star, that'd be lovely. I'm not sure if you can comment on there, but just give us a review if you can. Thank you so much. Anyway, how have you been? Next week is Christmas. Yeah, this week we will be filming the Christmas episode of the Dads, Lads and Kebabs podcast. We have gift exchange. Yes, each year me and Niall buy each other gifts. Each year we have a budget limit. This year is £30. I think last year was 20. So it's gone up a bit. So what did I buy Niall and what did Niall buy me? Well, you're going to have to stay tuned till next Monday. And obviously download the episode on the audio platforms. But if you want a real laugh, go and watch the YouTube video. Subscribe to the YouTube channel because you'll see us eating snacks, Christmas food, drinks, and obviously opening the presents. So yeah, if you could do that, that'd be amazing. How have I been? I've been all right, Miki. Thank you very much for asking. And yeah, it's been a busy week at work last week. Very tiring. One of the most tiring weeks I've had. And coldest weeks outside because I still work in the cemetery, and it's definitely difficult working out in the elements. In the spring and the summer it's okay, bit hot sometimes, and then you get a lot of rain, but the coldness, the natural coldness that I've been experiencing the last couple of weeks, it's not been nice, it's not been good, but it's my job, so I have to do it, you know. It is what it is. Some people work in an office. Some people don't have aircon in the summer, you know. So, you know, each job is different. And we just got to deal with it, you know. I love my job. So that's all I can say, really. It's all that matters. So what have I been up to over the last week? Since the last time you listened or watched this podcast, well, I've been down to Hemel Hempstead and met my good friend Mark Williams. And we went to a place called Devil's Bridge. Yeah, Devil's Bridge. Crazy place. And do you know when we went there? On the day of Storm Dara. Yes, the chaser came after us. And I'm just going to sort of describe, put it in your head, what the location is. So this particular bridge is in the middle of nowhere. It's in a little village. It actually took me 20 minutes longer than it should have done to find it. And that was because I was on the phone to Mark, following his WhatsApp pin, you know, the location, so I could find him and watch it on the map. Oh, right road, wrong road. and the sat nav takes you nowhere near it. So, you know, it is flawed system, but hey ho, it's all good. Anyway, it's in this little lane near a couple of houses, and then suddenly there's like a track, a very small thin road, and either side of the road is a wall, yeah, and it is covered in ivy, and on top of that is like trees and plants and bushes. Now this wall has got to be 15 foot high, maybe 20 feet high. And then halfway up this lane, there's a bridge with a tunnel, and that's Devil's Bridge. Now, reports of hanging has been seen there. The factual evidence about the history is a bit vague, to be honest. But you know, you go with the stories, the old internet stories, and that's why you go there to find out, is this sort of thing true or not. Anyway, the other side of the bridge, I suppose the tunnel of the bridge is probably about 30 feet long, so not that much. And then after that, it goes up for about 200-300 yards, again with this really high wall above it, and it goes around a bend up to some like farmland and a big manor house at the end. Now, the story goes that this manor house, the owner, the gentleman, his wife, he didn't want her walking on her own or being seen by the public or being any sort of trouble. So he built this walkway, this like tunnel system with the walls either side, as a way so that nobody would see her going in and out of like their property, and it would be on horse cart, so she would sit in the back, horse and carriage. That's why the walls were so high. Picture the scene, yeah? We get there about 3 o'clock. About 10 to 4, it gets dark. So we're there investigating, and obviously I've said earlier, we had Storm Dara. Man, was that windy. I have never ever experienced wind like that. Now, it could be because of the tunnel system with the wall and the bridge. It is crazy loud. And at one point there was rocks coming off the bridge. Now, whether they were thrown by a spirit, who knows? Were they naturally blown off by the wind? Possibly. I mean, the rocks were about this big. So quite big rocks, about 4 or 5 inches in width. So, you know, not something that could just fall off. Proper gust of wind would have to knock them off. But yeah, then it got dark, and we have some various good communication with bits of equipment that we had. Obviously, we couldn't do some of the stuff because of the loudness of the wind. So unfortunately, we could only do like a half investigation. But it was good. And I think about 4:45, the wind was so bad. We were in the tunnel. It was pitch black. We were filming on night vision, so green screen. And we suddenly heard this big crack. And we both looked round to the entrance of the tunnel. And in front of it was a massive tree that had been blown down. Got to be 30-foot tree come down. And we're like, wow, if we were out there investigating, that could have fallen down on us. So, you know, it's not all about the ghosts being scary. It's the people that are out at night time that you have to worry about. And now you have to worry about trees falling on your head. Because if that had fallen on us, we'd be dead. That would have crushed us. If we were still alive after that, that would have been, whew. So it would have been difficult. What else have I been doing? Well, obviously, some of you guys know and have been following this podcast from the start. I am obviously in a different house. I think back in, I don't know, 50, 60 episodes ago, I changed house to this house I'm in now. And along with the move and the separation, we'll call it, I lost lots of Christmas films. Now, I've been watching Christmas films on Netflix and a few of them on Prime, but a lot of them on Prime you have to pay for, all the good ones. So I thought, I don't have my DVDs anymore, but I still have a DVD player. So I thought yesterday what I would do, I went to CEX and I purchased some DVDs. I bought National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. For me, the best Christmas film ever. I also bought Elf. I bought Home Alone 1 and Home Alone 2. And I purchased all four of those for £6. So they're £1.50 each. Obviously with CEX, they're second hand. So I was there looking on the shelves. I found DVD, pulled it off the shelf. Opened the case, checked the DVD because they're in there now. Check them. Yeah, that's a good copy. No scratches, no smudges, anything like that. So yeah, I bought them for, and I came home and I put some Christmas films on and I was wrapping presents. I think there's nothing better than wrapping presents while watching a Christmas film. Now you could be listening to this podcast and wrapping Christmas presents. And if you are, fair play to you. Mickey says, right on. And yeah, it's an enjoyable time. I think it helps to pass the time because a lot of people don't like wrapping. I am a Christmas present wrapper. I am a wrapping master. I can wrap anything very quickly to a good standard. And it's been interesting this year. I've not bought as many as I have in the past. I think it's important not to go over the top. And like we've said on this podcast before, not to overspend and to go above your means, as it were. Because a lot of the time people buy presents just for the sake of buying someone a present. You know, if you get a present for somebody that they really want, then they'll be happy. You don't have to buy them a Lynx set or a Dove set or some chocolates or anything else just because you think you should have more presents for them. If you've got something that they really want and they're going to be really happy with it, you don't need to overspend. And I think a lot of people do get into a lot of debt at Christmas time. Unfortunately, I've been there, done it in the past. You just try and get as much presents, as many presents for your loved ones and your friends as you can. And it's a lot of pressure, I would say. And I think more awareness needs to be put out there to stop this overspending. It's like when people put pictures up on Facebook Christmas morning of all the presents under the tree. Now some people have lots, some people have a small amount, and a lot of people that don't have a lot of money and can't afford a lot, they don't get offended. I think it's other people that get offended for them, saying, "Oh, you shouldn't be showing off all your presents. Not everybody is as fortunate as you are." You know, I think there's plus and minuses for this. If you can afford it, why should you be punished because of the job you have? And you're just showing people that you're proud. You're proud of your presence and what you spent and what money you have. Obviously, there's the other side where people will get into a downward spiral of thinking that they don't have enough money. They get into more debt because of it, because they want to have that photo with all those presents. It's not the best, people. I can see it from both sides. Why should people that have money be punished? You know, not everybody's going to have a good job. Not everybody's going to have a bad job or a low paid job. So some people don't even have jobs. Some people are on benefits. Some people, are retired. So there's lots of different people out there that have different value that they put to Christmas. And I don't think anybody should be punished. I just think don't show off for showing off's sake. But if you're just doing it to show people, oh yeah, look, my kid's ready for the tree and they're happy about it, then again, that's not bad either, I don't think. So, it is just, don't, before you start rowing on Facebook with your friends and your loved ones, just think not everybody does it to be negative. So it is what it is, and we just have to get on with life, unfortunately. Now, I'm sure not if Niall was here, he'd have a lovely witty comment for this subject, but he's not, and you're stuck with me. So you get my autistic answers and my autistic way of looking at life, unfortunately, which sometimes is out of the box, sometimes it's in the box, and right now you have no idea what the hell I'm on about. But yes, so where else have I been this week? Well, I went to Lamport Hall in Northamptonshire. Now, if you don't know where this place is, I've never heard of it. It is like a big stately home, like manor house with big land, and they opened their property up, lots of stables and rooms and buildings, outbuildings, to have Christmas market stalls. So I went down there, and first thing you find out, it's £5 a person, which is okay. You're paying £5 to go shopping, which is a bit strange, but I suppose, you know, they'll try and get as much money out of everybody at Christmas. So, you know, I've got no issue with Lamport Hall, but my experience, as you will find out in a minute, was not the best. Now, it was advertised online that they had a tractor, if needed, on standby. And already you're thinking, oh my God. So you put up there, and the main road in the entrance is covered in mud. There are cars trying to go both ways on this sort of single track, just a bit wider than a single track road. And there's mud everywhere, sloshing around. And either side of the main road into the site, up to the house, is like fields. So people are parking in the fields. And my God, the amount of mud. My shoes were filthy within like a minute. Sloppy mud on top. And I was walking like a fucking angel, trying to tiptoe and not get dirty and splash any mud up me. It was not the best. Already, before I even got in there and gave him my £5, I was already pissed off. So, you go in there, you pay your £5, you walk in. There's various food stalls in there, which are very expensive. But I did buy some churros with chocolate sauce, Nutella sauce, I think it was, at the exit as I left. They were £6, £6.50, and you got 6 of them. So they weren't too bad. They were nice though. I love churros. Reminds me of the old fair days when you were like 15 or whatever. Anyway, so you're walking around the stables, looking at the different stalls. Now the stalls they have there, they're like clothing stalls, like ornaments, basically anything you can think of. Paintings. I actually did buy a painting, to be fair, or it's a photograph print from a local photographer, which is really nice. So I'm happy with that purchase. £20, that's a good deal. It's about this big, you know, like nearly A3 size. So I was happy with that. And yeah, there's just like ornaments made out. There was a store in there with, you know, the old railway nails that used to hammer in the track. Some man has made ornaments out of these nails. To be fair, they looked really good. I didn't buy any, but they had different like sporting people, like rowers and golfers in different poses. They're really clever actually how they've done it. There's also like knitted stalls with hats and baby clothing. So a large variety. And then you had like the food ones that I've already mentioned, but they also had like bees and jams and honey and things like that. So quite good, but it wasn't the best. And inside it was very, very cold. All the stall holders have got like snoods on, beanies on, gloves, hats, you know, scarves, massive coats. And I was talking to one woman, and I said, "Oh, it's cold in here." She goes, "Yeah, we're not even allowed a heater." So they weren't allowed to have their own heaters in there because it kept tripping the electrics in the building. So some people had hair dryers, so they were blowing hair dryers onto their hands just to try and stay warm. That's not the best way to spend like 8 hours on a Sunday. I also went to Niall's favourite stomping ground of Beckworth Emporium, again in Northamptonshire, for those that don't know. Now, Beckworth used to have an amazing ice rink, and every year I take my kids. But when COVID hit in 2020, they stopped doing that, and they've never done it since. But the area that used to be reserved for the ice skating is now their Christmas section. So it's got its own little entrance. And wow, do they have a lot of decorations. All different colours, all different themes. The lights, the baubles, the trees, the animatronic like deer and penguins dancing and gonks. And I've never seen so many different coloured gonks. I mean, this is crazy. But, you know, it was expensive. I didn't buy anything, but I appreciated looking around, and I do love looking at Christmas decorations in shops. It sort of gets you into the spirit, and they've got like stalls like near the tills, because you could buy like tea and coffee and that, but they also had like biscuits and cookies and stuff there, so it was quite good. I didn't buy any again because I thought, why am I spending like £5 for a hot chocolate when I can just go home and have it now? So I didn't bother. They should have had that at the beginning, I think, so more people would have bought it. But that's just my opinion. I didn't think they laid it out very well. Apart from the fact it was expensive, I appreciate it. It was good. I did enjoy walking around it. I was there for about 45 minutes. So it didn't cost me anything. So that's a bonus, you know. So it was all right. Yeah. So you've got a week left, people, to head down to Beckworth Emporium if you want to have a look at their Christmas stuff. You could also meet Santa Claus as well. Didn't pay for that. Didn't want to see Santa. I'll watch him when he comes down my chimney. And I've set the video camera in the top of the chimney. So, this possibly final segment, because this podcast is only going to be a short one this week. I just wanted to get out there, chat to you guys, do a bit of promotion for the Christmas episode that will be coming out next Monday, the 23rd. So, we sent out. Where's my phone? I need my phone for this section. Okay, found it. So, last week I put out on social media, you know, the old Mad Libs from back in the day that used to be, I think it's mainly American. Shout out to our American audience. Mad Libs, where you have a story or a song or something like that, and they miss out words, and they put like noun, adjective, pronouns, verbs, all that sort of thing. So I put these out there, and I asked people to fill in the blanks, and send them back to us. Now I have, how many do I have? 1, 2, 3. I have 5 to read out that people have written in and sent them back to us. So I will read them out if that's okay. Maybe they're funny. I haven't actually looked at them yet. I just copied the picture and put them on my phone. So the first one is from Shelley, and it's called "'Twas the Night Before Christmas." Now obviously this is probably the story. "'Twas the night before Christmas, when all through the house not a creature was jumping, not even a mouse. The race cars were hung by the chimney with care, in hopes that Michael Jordan soon would be there. The singers were nestled all snug in their beds, while visions of cookies danced in their heads. And Mama in her dress, and I in my cap, had settled down for a long summer's nap. And then in a twinkling I sat on the roof, the prancing and pawing of each little hoof. As I drew in my eye and was turning around, Down the slide St. Nicholas came with a bound. He screamed not a word, but went west to his work, and twirled all the stockings, then turned with a jerk, and laying his feet aside of his nose, that's impressive, and giving a nod, up the roof he rose. He sprang to his car, to his team gave a whistle, and away they all flew like the down of a thistle. But I heard him exclaim, ere he cried out of sight, Merry Halloween to all, and to all a silly night. No, I used to have, back in the day in my old house, I used to have a big thick Mad Libs book, because I think it was mentioned back in the day on the Basement Yard podcast with Joe Santagato and Frank Alvarez. Brilliant show. They're now gone from the podcast studio to theatres all over America. Who knows, maybe me and Niall will get there one day if people want to listen to our shit anyway. So the next one is Christmas Baking, and this is from Joan. Every year we make soap at Christmas time. Walking has been a tradition since I was a fluffy kid. Melinda used to make most of the recipe back then, but I would always help drive chocolate. Now that I'm older, I make the entire batch of soap from scratch. All you have to do is mix tissue and bread in a bowl until fluffy, and add keys. Don't forget ball slice, then or on a rainbow, and bake them at 75 degrees. After 100 minutes, you will have the perfect soap. Okay, thank you, Joan. Very nice. So this one is called Christmas Mad Libs, and this is from Ian. I am so excited for Christmas this year. I've been doing a lot of wanking to prepare. Oh, is this how it's going to be, is it? It's one of them. I have already picked out presents for everyone. I got Jeff a sheep and Sally a cockatoo. I wrapped their presents in a lawnmower and hid them in the shed so they wouldn't find them. Julie and I made eel for everyone to enjoy. Oh, yuck. They smell disgusting. I can't wait to eat them. We picked out the perfect tree. It is dusty and frail and smells like urine. It's my job to lick the tree every day. Oh, a dusty, frail urine tree. Don't think so. I've been hoping for a giant asshole under the tree this year. I really don't want to get a beaver instead. Julie tells me that I need to go to bed early on Christmas Eve so Santa can come. He's going to drive his Boeing 747 with his hamsters and land on our roof. I hope everybody has a purple Christmas. Okay. Thank you, Ian. Right. This one again is called Christmas Mad Libs. And this is from Sally. My name is Diane and I am 56. Thought your name was Sally. I live in Miami. Yeah, I live in Miami. My sister said I have been a very naughty girl this year, so I hope for 7 gifts this Christmas. I always help my dad with chores around the tractor farm. If you think I have been extra smelly this year, I would like a singing goat too under the tree addressed to me. It would make me even happier if you could put a used jockstrap inside of my stocking. Wow. Mother tells me that I need to go to bed early on bonfire night, Eve. Bonfire Night Eve. So when you come down the toilet pipe at our house, we will have trifle and beans waiting for you. I suppose that's for Santa Claus. We will leave out some PlayStation for the reindeer too. I hope everyone has a ginormous Christmas. Fair enough. Fair enough. And the last one, again, is called Christmas and Mad Libs North Pole Edition. And this is from Tony. Santa, Mrs. Claus, and the Jesus Army live at the North Pole. Jesus Army. The weather is always snowy there, but 6-year-old smashing toys for Santa sneeze to children on Christmas. What? The weather is always snowy there, but 6-year-old people smashing toys for Santa to sneeze people to children at Christmas. That doesn't make sense, does it? Anyway, so holiday cheer lasts year round there. There's no land at the North Pole. Instead, there is a 15-inch thick sheet gooey enough to hold Santa's village. The dog sled people help load Santa's sleigh with jelly hammers and Santa's crocodile bounce. And Santa's crocodiles bounce his sleigh on Christmas Eve to strong, legless children around the world. You can't say that. I should have probably read these before I read them out on here. Never mind. Wow. That's so good. Mad Libs. We should do a whole episode on that and get you guys to send in more of those, or to fill out more of those anyway. So before I go, have you got an advent calendar? I have two. I have a Bueno one and a Lindt one. The Bueno one is mwah, very nice. Dropped it. So yes, guys, I think I'll end it there. Like I said before, it's just a short one, just so that we have a nice little chat. It's a shame Niall couldn't be here, unfortunately, but it is what it is. And make sure you tune in next week, Monday 23rd, Christmas special of the podcast. I would also like you to go subscribe to the YouTube channel so you can see all the fun that we have actually in person. Go follow us on all of the audio platforms as well. Spotify, Good Pods, Podbean, Apple Podcasts. The list goes on. There's so many appearing now, so they're all really good. Go to the Instagram page, Dads Lads Kebabs. Go follow that. We put clips on there, pictures on there that we get up to when we meet up. There was actually some pictures of our Christmas meal that we had recently. So that's up there as well. So go check that out, the Instagram page. And the TikTok. You got to go on TikTok. Dads Lads Kebabs TikTok is flying. We put funny clips from all the episodes on there. There is so many on there. And sometimes I just watch them because they're fucking funny. But anyway, I'm going to love you and leave you there, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Give us a thumbs up on all the shows, all the platforms, and that would be awesome. Niall said, see you next week. He also said, deuces and fuck off. See you later, guys. I wouldn't be that horrible to you. I'd just say thank you so much. See you in a bit.